Tucked behind me on this very unassuming street is a 5-star hotel, the Iberostar Lanzarote Park. Let's take a look. Well, hello you lot, how are you? Thanks for joining me at Canaries with Karen. The weeks go by quickly, don't they? And I'm back in Lanzarote, and you wouldn't expect a 5-star hotel to be along this street. But behind these shops there is indeed a 5-star hotel, and I've been staying here for the last 4 days. I've wanted to stay in this hotel for a while now, as I'd heard so much about it. And as usual, I'm paying for this trip myself, so you'll get my honest take on the hotel. I paid £807 for 4 days, half board, including flights from Luton, which included luggage and extra legroom space for my plane seat, and a single supplement as I was travelling solo. In this video, I'll show you 2 types of room: the food, the bars, the entertainment, children's areas, the 3 main pools, star prestige areas, the gym, the spa, and more. We'll explore everything and see what makes this place special. So grab a coffee and let's get exploring. I arrived late, around midnight, and I was offered a cold drink of kava at check-in and advised that the restaurant was open for snacks for late arrivals, which was very useful. I do like the simple decor that's in keeping with the hotel's colour theme, which is mostly white with some greenish avocado colour and wood highlights. On the right of the entrance here is the upgraded Star Prestige check-in, which is not always open, by the way, and next to it a Star Prestige lounge, which is available for coffees and drinks if you've paid for that level of service. The reception has a lovely signature perfume smell that's common to all Iberostar hotels. Later in my stay, I discovered that they have a huge spray, like an enormous air freshener that blasts sprays every minute or so, and this was the first time I'd ever managed to spot one. Now I want to take you to my rooms, plural. I ended up having a double sea view room. This is the standard you'll get when booking with TUI, which I did. Later I was moved to a family sea view rooms for reasons I will talk about later, which is 3 grades above that. The room is larger than it appears here. The bed, however, was kind of average. When you sat on it, it slid around on the floor. I rate the bed at 3-star really. And the sofa, which I think converts to a sofa bed, is uncomfortable, like sitting on a cheap children's bed full of springs. The TV had a handful of UK news channels but nothing else, and that reduced to Sky News at the end of my break, owing to an error throughout the hotel. There's a packed minibar and also a nice little coffee machine and a kettle for your teas with some tea bags, and you can ask at reception for extra tea bags and coffee. Have you spotted there are no bathroom doors in this hotel room? I think it could be an accessible room. You could get a wheelchair through easily, but let's see how it compares to the upgraded option later. The hotel robe sizes are nice and generous, but the slippers are a bit odd. They're around a size 12 with huge square toes and very uncomfortable. The wardrobe size is fairly standard, generous enough, and has a free safe. Now I want to show you my balcony, which for me was the star of the show. Not only do you have a table and 2 chairs, but also 2 comfy sun lounges. One of my sun lounges though had a bad cigarette burn and a big nasty stain, and I requested it to be changed, which they eventually reluctantly did after a couple of days. The shape of the hotel is based on 3 semicircular buildings. These are inspired by the traditional volcanic stone walls that protect the island's vineyards. The 3 buildings that constitute the hotel face the sea and are arranged in a horseshoe shape, with each one having its own pool. And the potential is there for sea views from all rooms. Not sure about the ground floor, but certainly higher up. Right, let's take a look at my second upgraded room. You can see I'm here between 2 of the semicircular structures. They've planted a lovely lot of palms down there. Now this is the family sea view room. I was upgraded as my patio door got jammed open and wouldn't close, but more about that in my concluding comments. For this grade of room, there's 1 double bed, which is actually 2 singles, which still move about like the other one. And then I think you're supposed to use the 2 sofa beds in the lounge area for either the children or additional adults' beds. There's a nice large TV and adequate wardrobe space, just the usual, and a couple of bedside lights there which are very handy. Down the corridor there's additional wardrobe space on the right hand side here for additional adults or children. Having doors on the bathroom gives it a very different feel, and honestly I think I would prefer the spaciousness of the first room. The shower was excellent with a nice large shower head, and you've also got some quality shampoos and conditioners there. Ask at reception for things like shower caps and razors, which are free, but you have to ask for them. I personally prefer it when they just leave them and when they leave the accessories in the room. And as you lead into the lounge area, there's the exact same mini bar as you found in the other room. Moving into the lounge now, you've got the 2 sofas, a little table there, and plenty of lamps and cushions too, which make it nice and cosy. And on the left you'll see a bin that is for recycling and also standard waste, and that's in all of the hotel rooms. They're all the same. And on the other side of the room, yet another extremely large TV. I will add at this point as well, the rooms were all really nice and quiet. I was not disturbed by any noise whatsoever during my entire stay, which was excellent. The patio sadly only has 1 table and 2 chairs and is so much smaller. There are no sun loungers as there's not enough room for them, but what a stunning view. There is a way if you want to help me out making more of these videos. There's something called Buy Me a Coffee, which there's a QR code for here. Let's get on with the video. The hotel has 3 main pools, each having a distinct different atmosphere. The main pool here is lively throughout the day, and there's a good bit of noise with activities going on, and it can be audible even from your room if you're in the main block as I was. You can check out the programme of activities on the hotel's app, which is the best hotel app I've ever used. You can download it from Google Play Store, and it tells you all of the hotel's activities, meal times and so on. I like to search out a bit quieter places, so I walked over to the Star Prestige to check out what it's like. There's a locked gate as that area is for Star Prestige guests only, but I got lucky and found it open. I passed the Star Prestige restaurant and couldn't help but take a look. I'll show you the other restaurants later, but this one is far smaller but has a fabulous view, which I think is the main draw. Right, back for searching out the Star Prestige pool now. The barley beds are to rent at the rate of €20, or they do fancy packages such as treats like pink champagne and macaroons for €90. Wouldn't that be a fantastic birthday or celebration treat overlooking the ocean? This side of the hotel, the Star Prestige area, definitely has better views, such as the lovely Flamingo Beach and the Montaña Roja, the dormant volcano. But the pool area looks exactly the same. The only big difference is that it's adults only and doesn't have an infinity pool like the first one. It does have an open bar and the best views of the entire hotel. Look at this amazing view. This bench is the one smoking zone in the entire hotel, and it has the best views. And now for the final pool, which is the children's pool in the family area. Imagine being a small child and having this wonderful area to play in. Ironically, this pool was the quietest and most peaceful area in the whole hotel when I visited. Nearby is a food truck. Got to say, the sample foods they showed looked unappetizing, a bit dried out. And there's a small playground with the most fantastic setting overlooking the ocean. If you've got some energetic children, there's plenty for them to do. Kids Club is called Star Camp and it's on every day 10:30 till 1, then 3 p.m. till 5. It's dinner time! And I have to say, every day the food was great, from the salads and starters to the mains and desserts. All the food was correctly labelled for allergies and was accurate, with there being clearly indicated gluten-free, vegan and dairy-free options. Other than the seafood night, where there was lobster, I didn't notice any other specific theme nights. That might just have been me though, not noticing. The choice of different dishes was immense, and there was always a cooking station for freshly cooked meat or fish. There were roasts and also paellas and also slow-cooked dinners. I ate the best duck dish of my life at this hotel, which was duck cooked till it's soft but having a crispy skin. Amazing, so do look out for that dish. I also appreciated that the tables were nicely dressed with good quality linen and cutlery. So how was lunch? Plenty of people attended, which you could see, and the extent and volume of the food was equal to the evening meal, and of the same very good quality. They didn't skimp on this meal, and they didn't bring out leftovers from dinner, from what I saw anyway. I've not mentioned desserts yet, but once more the selection was huge and of a good quality. There was something there for everyone. So what about breakfast? There was the usual full English choice and continental breakfast selections. I did mean to film the bacon, but I forgot, so sorry. But overall, I'd rate the food experience as very, very good. After dinner, the resort comes alive again, but in a different way. The atmosphere shifts. There's a choice of bars, from relaxed outdoor terraces to elegant lounges. There's also evening entertainment most nights, from live singers and dancers to family-friendly shows, both in the Star Prestige zone and the main zone. The quality's good and it keeps the resort lively after dinner. If you need to go to the gym after all that food, here's the place for you. Or if you're like me, you'll be relaxing at the spa. Both of these are situated beyond the entrance towards the road at the front of the hotel. The fitness centre is open 24 hours a day and the spa is open 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. You can have this pool with jacuzzi, sauna, steam room, almost all to yourself for €19 for 2 hours. And treatments like body treatments, facials, manicures and massages are available for both women and men. The hotel's location makes it easy to access a wonderful beach, Playa Flamingo, which is great for swimming and has a gentle slope into the water. To get there, you just go to the seafront and turn right along the promenade for 5 minutes. If you turn left, you'll get to some bars within 5 minutes, and you'll see here the port where you can get trips over to Fuerteventura. You can do a day's return trip. It's so close, it's visible from the end of the family zone. If you walk beyond the port for 5 minutes, you'll reach the main street and shopping area of Playa Blanca. So after spending a few days here at Iberostar Lanzarote Park, I've come to a few conclusions, having time to think it over. I've had some really fantastic experiences and some less good. And let's remember these are only my experiences. The dining service here is excellent. Everything from breakfast, lunch, evening meal, it was all spot on. The food was excellent. I don't know anyone who could disagree with that, though there was a lady complaining there was no porridge quite loudly. She was quite upset about it, and then the next day porridge appeared. So they do like to help out and please where they can. The staff in the restaurants were very friendly, very helpful and attentive. The other thing that I really loved was the view from my room, especially the second room where I was in the centre of the semicircle. And it was stunning. Each morning was beautiful to see. The pools were excellent. There was always plenty of sunbeds as well. The location's really, really good. You're straight on the seafront. Great for walks, great for shops. What more can you ask? Where things did fall short, though, was on some of the smaller details that really let it down at times, that seemed to separate it from a 5-star to a 4-star experience. The first thing was check-in was pretty dreadful. I was left standing at the desk with no one else around, I might add, with people waiting to serve, but everyone just ignoring me for a good 5 minutes. That was near midnight. I was pretty tired. That was the first thing. The second thing was that I was left to struggle with my own suitcase that had a broken wheel. There was a bellboy who was taking suitcases to and fro, and the staff watched me struggle with a suitcase with a broken wheel all the way to the lift, and no help was offered. And for me, that wasn't a 5-star experience. Secondly, there was the incidence of the patio door. I went to bed just after midnight and the patio door wouldn't close. It was jammed open, and as there was access from either side, I was a bit perturbed about going to sleep with it unlocked. Maintenance don't work at that time of night, so they sent someone for reception who tried to close the door. I was told that they would just send someone to patrol the corridor to make sure I was okay, but that's really not good enough. And I did insist that I change rooms at that point. I shouldn't have had to insist, I don't think. Smaller frustrations were things like there was a sewerage leak near the restaurant that smelled really badly that they did fix within the day. UK TV channels stopped working. I like to watch a bit of TV in bed, so I was just left with Sky News as all the other channels had gone down. One of the sun loungers was burnt with a cigarette burn, which I've showed you earlier, and they really weren't interested in changing that, and it was just a bit nasty to look at. None of these things would ruin your holiday, really, would they? They just wouldn't, but it just seemed to separate a real 5-star experience from a 4-star or less. Would I stay here again? Possibly, yes. There's things about it that are really great, like the food, the views, the location. They're all wonderful. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. And also, if you feel inclined, you can always buy me a coffee. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.